Hi guys. Hi guys. Today we are talking about the day 5 for the front end development class. So the class starts with that introduction to JavaScript. So yesterday and the day before yesterday classes are last 4 days classes we have discussed about what is HTML, and also again we are talking about the basic styling and image, link, and HTML forms. For the third day class, we are explaining about the CSS basics and styling. The day 4, that is the box model, flexbox, and the responsive designs. Day we are discussing about that. Today we are talking about the introduction to JavaScript. So this is the most important one we have to check for our interviews, because why I'm saying it is very important means for the HTML CSS it is a very common thing. For the CSS they are asking some questions, but the main picture of our course is maintained in the JavaScript part only. So why we need a JavaScript? Because so if we are providing the if we are writing the code in HTML means it just providing the structure. CSS means it is giving the layout and responsive designs, colors for the particular HTML part. The JavaScript means it is giving the HTML page, normal HTML page into the dynamic website. So that's why it is we are using this JavaScript. So it just making the pages very interactive. So JavaScript is actually a programming language. uh, this is what we have already discussed about that. So what is JavaScript? JavaScript is actually a programming language. So it is just run the particular web browsers, and also it creating the dynamic uh, and interactive experience to the users actually. So for example, if we have one JavaScript file, HTML CSS JavaScript file means the particular browser is actually running the JavaScript page. So it just directly connected with that browser and change the things that we have used on. Like for example, if we are working with the one hey JavaScript page with the interactive with the forms we are discussing, right? So inside that forms, if we are going to submit the forms means that information is going to stored in somewhere else or somewhere in databases and all. So those informations will be stored, and it is maintaining the user clicks, submissions and all. So these are all the things JavaScript is maintaining actually. The trinity means the three ones we have discussed. So first one is the HTML is this giving the structure and the content. CSS it just giving the styling and the layout for the particular web page. And JavaScript is giving the logic and behavior to the particular website. So if it is having a web page is need to respond, and it is giving the clickable activities and the react to users. So these are all the things the JavaScript is holding on. Actually JavaScript is the programming language. It is having more number of libraries are there: Angular, React, Vue.js, Next.js. So many libraries are there in JavaScript actually. So now we are introduced about the JavaScript variables. So JavaScript variables is nothing but we are going to store some data in the JavaScript. First, before going to this explaining about this JavaScript variable, first I'll just tell you how to add the JavaScript file inside the HTML part, HTML page. I just create a one more file called day5. So inside the day 5 I'm just giving the uh, basic js.html. So inside that I'm just generating a code like doc type html, normal html, and then head with the title, basic javascript example, body will have one h1 tag like welcome. So the same thing. So here I'm going to add the script. So script is nothing but it just adding the html css pages into the some javascript files. So I'm just added the script. So inside the script I'm just running the console.log. Console.log means it just printing whatever I have written inside this console.log with the string. I mean inside the string symbol, that means the double quotes or a single quotes. I'm just writing as a hello world. Okay, now I'm just go reveal in the file explorer, just running this page. You see the basic javascript example is shown here. As I already explained you, we are only checking this elements tag in the inspect element, but we have a console tags also. So the console tag is nothing but it is just running the interactive between the javascript page with the uh, browser page. So inside this javascript I'm just writing as a console.log of hello world. So this hello world program is going to printed in this particular thing. So here also I can able to write the code like a console.log of Shankavi Educational Institute. So you see this information is showing like this. So that means the same thing if I added in the particular program also, that is also going to run successfully. So you see hello world Shankavi Educational Institute information is going to show here. So this is how the javascript is going to added in our html page. Then we are going to represent the javascript variables. Javascript variables is nothing but it just storing the information or else the data uh, for the user or the programmer is needed. So we have a three number of variables are there: constant variable, let variable, and var variable. Actually constant and let is introduced after 2016 only. So before 2016 only var is there. So it is called as the old style declaration or old variables, we can say like that. Constant variable is nothing but so if I am going to use the constant name as John means I cannot able to redeclare or change the name of the particular thing, the variable name to the particular thing. For example, um, I'm just adding the constant name equal to Shankavi, then name equal to, I'm just changing the name as a new name means it is not accepting, because why is we are declaring this variable name as constant, so it just giving the error. So I'll just not sure it is just giving the error. Yeah, assignment to constant variable uncaught type error. So we got this error. So constant means we can able to write the declare the variables but it is not going to change in anywhere. Then the let it let is nothing but uh, if we are going to use the let means I can able to reuse that values and I can able to uh, update those values also. For example, let age equal to, I'm just giving as a 20, then I'm just changing this age value to 21. So that time it is acceptable and it can be able to update also. But the one thing is, I am not able to redeclare that value. Like, redeclare means, here I am declaring this age as 20, and here I am just going to redeclare that age value to 22. In this time it is not accepting. Why means, let doesn't have the property or the function to redeclare those values. This is the one main thing in let. And the third one is where is called as a global variable. The values are going to be redeclared, reused, and the variables are also going to be updatable. Like, where name is already there, right? I'm just using the same. Yeah, city is New York, I'm saying. Then I'm just changing, I mean updating that as Los Angeles. Then I'm just going to redeclare that value as Chicago. So you see, there is no error, and I'm just going to run this page also to see. So the program is stopped here because using this constant. So I'm just comment this, so then only this line is going to run. Okay, control R. Oh, sorry, here I need to add as a city. So you see, city name is, so the last declared value is Chicago. So it is this, if I am providing the console.log of name means it is providing the Chicago name. So now we just go back to this. This is how the three different JavaScript variables, and also there is a difference between those things also, that is explained here. So then we are going to talk about the data types, that means basic data types in JavaScript. The first data type is string. String is nothing but, it just enclosed with a double quotes or a single quotes, and also that particular value is going to that means uh, that particular values are not changing, and also the same value whatever we have typed over there, right? So that same value is going to be happened, or going to be used in the everywhere. Like, this is the string one. That second one is the number means, we have a different kind of numbers are there. Integer number, decimal numbers, and also some floating number, he- he- hectagone numbers are also there. So those kind of numbers are declared and used in here. Then the third one is boolean. So we have a true false value, true or false. Those values are categorized under the boolean value. And the arrays is nothing but, so it is enclosed with the square brackets actually. Arrays means, so if I am having a sequence of numbers or sequence of values means, I'm going to able to use the arrays. So it is going to be in the sequence, so it cannot be able to rearrange those things. So sometimes I'm going to write a name as first name as San Kavi, second name as somewhere else means, so that time there is some rearranging is there. But if I'm using the array means, it is not going to rearranged. And then the dom is nothing but document object model. So if I am going to write one JavaScript means, if my web page is going to run in the browser means, there is one document object model is going to be created. If either it is not having a JavaScript also, that time also HTML CSS itself it just creating one JavaScript, that means empty JavaScript file is going to be created. There is kind of a tree is there, so that that particular tree is called as the DOM object, so that object will able to maintain all the JavaScript activities. So we just explained this. The document object model is JavaScript's representation of our HTML, and also every element. So that means we have a h1 tag, h2 tag, h2 elements are there, so that every elements are becoming as the object, and you can select, we can able to select that, modify that, and interact with that. So for example, if we have a forms, so inside the HTML and the JavaScript is going to be connected, right? So that HTML elements are going to be happened with this JavaScript element, so that's in between this the DOM is going to be actioned. HTML element is nothing but the HTML file as tags. That means the h1, h2 tags. So many tags are there, right? So that is the one. And the document object is created with the JavaScript object memory and JavaScript control. So here we can able to select and modify instantly in the browsers. So if I change anything in the inspect elements, means that is are going to be happened, and it just I mean it just changed automatically within a few milliseconds. But if I am going to reload the page, means that particular changes are not going to be going inside the page. So as already discussed about this, so in the Amazon website also, if I am going to change anything, means it just changed automatically, so the DOM tree is going to update it. But if I'm going to reload the page, means it is just directly checking the program file. The developer who is going to develop that page is checked, and that particular change will happen in the web page. And selecting and manipulating elements, so there we are discussing about how the JavaScript works, and how we can able to creating the variables and all. Now we are discussed about the selecting and manipulating elements. So this is the main part that we have uh, we have connected with the elements with the JavaScript program. So selection methods, first one is get element by ID. So for example, if I'm having a tag will have a id, so the id is nothing but the unique attribute value for the particular tag. So here I'm just providing as a h1. So here if I'm having any unique id for the h1, means I'm going to use this document dot get element by id of that h1. So that time all the h1 id is going to be performed, and that particular elements will be going to take actions if I'm having anything, means. And the query selector is nothing but if I'm having a class name. So already if I'm my web page have the class as, sorry guys, class means I'm just using as document dot query selector as class dot is very important, because if I'm using a CSS also, dot is very important for us. And the third one is query selector all. So that time if I'm having a more number of CSS properties or multiple elements we need to take actions, means we can give it as query document dot query selector all with that particular tag name or element name we can give. This is the one thing. And manipulation technique, manipulation means using the JavaScript we are going to manipulate or changing the HTML part. So the HTML means the viewable part is going to be changed. So how we can do is, for example, first I'll just show you how the get element by id things are working, then I'll just show you. Constant element one equal to document dot get element by id of h1. So I'm just taking the same element. So I'm just going to console this value to show you how it is going to take. So you see the same h1 tag is going to added here. So now if I want to change, manipulate anything over here, means I'm just doing the uh, doing the thing as element one dot style dot color as red. So that time what I'm going to do is, so using the javascript I'm just changing the property, css property value color as red. So if I reload the page, you see the color red is also going to added here, and the color is also changed here. This is how we are going to add. The second one is color and a class list as active. So these are all the things we can able to add that. So this is how we are going to manipulate those elements, those kind of elements using the JavaScript. So now we are discussing about how the events are working in JavaScript. Events are nothing but there is an any actions that is to be performed using the JavaScript means that is called as a events. That events are occurring based on the user's activities. Like so if the user is going to click any pages means click actions are performed. Key press means based on the key press activity. Submit, if they are going to submit any forms means submit events are there. However means if I am going to just slightly uh, trying to click the page, before trying to click the page means there is we are hover those things, right? This is called as a hover. So this is how it is going to be performed. For example, you see constant button document dot get element by id of my button. The element id name is my button. So what they are given is btn, the element name btn dot add event listener. So we are creating one event and we are adding one event as a click event, that is manipulated with one function. Inside that we are giving the alert as button is clicked, alert is going to be given here. So this is how it is working. So I'm just show you how we can make these things as interactive. Okay, I'm just added one button. So here I'm going to do is constant button equal to button dot on click. On click also you can give, or else add event listener. That is a traditional method we can give like this. So for now, for us, I just added as a traditional method. uh, Arrow function. So here I'm just add as a button is clicked, alert is going to alert it nothing but it just giving some warning, something like that. So we have a button. So if I going to click this button means it is saying yes, button is clicked. So this alert message is also given by us. You see, maybe if the button is going to clicked means we just change this button color as blue, something like that we can give. For example, if I click this button means you see the color of the button is going to change here. So this is how we are going to make the interactive. So for now how you can see is why we need to click, why we need to add this function, why we need to changing those colors. But if you are going to if you are going to work in one some IT industry or some other companies, the requirements is like that. So maybe you need to calculate how many clicks this particular button is clicked. So if they are clicked more than 10 times, means we need to stop them to click the button, something like that we need to they will ask you to do. Okay, now we just do with to do list in JavaScript HTML. Okay, so this is the one example for the uh, basic JavaScript element. So what I'm going to do is, so I'm just creating one HTML page with one particular input box. Inside the input, after the input box, I'm just added one button also. So based on that, I'm just adding more number of to-do list. To-do list are the action items I need to given. So how the what the user is going to do is, they will just click the just add the particular thing and click on the submit button. Once they are clicked, means that is going to add it in the list. If we have already some list is there, means it's just going to add it there. So I'm just added the title as to do list page. Enter your task is added for the users visibility. I'm just added the input type as text, and id as id is very needed for us to add this, so I'm just add as a text input. Okay, now I'm just going to add as a button. Add a task is going to add it. So then I'm just added as a ul means nothing but unordered the list. So here I'm just going to add the list of element task list. I'm just going to add it like this. So inside that I'm just add as a sample task one. So first let's see how it's just showing in as the html page. Okay, I'm just revealing file explorer. So you see we have a my to do list. We have a label that is enter your task. So after that we have one input box, so we don't have any placeholder for this, so the user won't able to uh, know what is there. So I'm just added that placeholder also. That time it just adding like this. So if I click on the add task, means it just going to add it in the list of task. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, first we need to track the things what we have typed inside the input tag. So script constant task input equal to document dot get element by id. So we just wrapped as the elements task input and then button id of btn, then the task list. So I'm just doing with a task input dot um, the values that we have shown upon here. So that the those values I need to add there. Like for example, I'm just console.log this task input. So here I'm just added a sample task 2. I'm just going to add it there. So btn dot add event listener, click. So after that we are going to add it here, constant task equal to task input dot value we need to give. Okay, so if the value is there means we need to add that in our list, right? So what I was going to do is, so before, if I add the if the task is not there means I'm just giving the alert as alert, please enter the task. else Else is also not needed, so I'm just added li equal to document dot create element of li. So li dot text content I need to add. Eh, so I'm just appending this task list with the li, and the input value, the initial value of the input is going to as empty. Okay, I'm just reload this page. If I am going to click on the add task before there is anything added in the enter task means, so it just giving us a please enter the task. So now if I'm going to add as a sample task 2 means it just adding like this. So why it is having a empty list means, so for the first time I'm just adding like that, right? So that's why. So I'm just providing a else. So inside the else only I'm just adding this sample task 2. I'm going to add that. So if I click on this, please enter a task, so it is not added here. So this is how this to-do list page is working. Actually, why I'm explaining to-do list page for the first time in the basics of the JavaScript is, it is the very important coding questions that is asked in the interviews actually. While you are preparing for the react based interviews and also normal front end based web development interviews also, this is the most important one they are asking for in your interviews. So first one is this, and the second one is count, so that we can discuss in the further more classes. And let me just go back to here. I'm just building the to-do list adder. So inside the adder, I have implemented the input field for task names, and I'm just adding with this one button for the with the event listener. And using the JavaScript, I'm just adding the list of the pages. Okay, I hope everyone is enjoying the class. So let's discuss about the homework for today. So the homework is, we already creating one forms using the HTML. So inside the form, what I was expecting you to complete is just to create one input box with the password field. The type is called as a password field. Okay, so what you guys to do is, so you just add one button, show or hide. You can name it as a show or hide. So if I going to click the page, I mean click the button means, if the password typed password is hidden means you just need to show the password. So if again I'm going to click the button means the show or hide button means you just again hide the particular hide the particular input box, the password field input box. The second one is you can add a show hide button to toggle more about me section. So you guys already work with the portfolio page, right? So inside the portfolio page you just add one more column as more about me. So you just initially added as the closed one. So if I'm going to click on the open means it's just going to open, otherwise it is uh, normally in the closed mode only. Okay, then the second one is implement form validation. So for example we have a form, so inside the form we are clicking the submit button. So before, if we are not giving any proper information uh, in the name field means it just giving the output or the alert message as please enter the input. So something like that we need to give. And then you guys going to practice selecting the element using all the three methods. That means add event listener, query selector, or those kind of methods. You just practice those informations. Today we are stepping into the JavaScript world. JavaScript is a very easy language if you are understand very correctly means it is you can easily able to grasp both that particular language. And also it is the biggest opportunity for you guys to learn this platform in this JavaScript part. So while I am learning my so I'm in my fresher time, there is no one is going to give this proper kind of information for this JavaScript part. So this is the lucky part for you guys to having this kind of classes actually. Hope everyone is enjoying this class. We'll just uh, we'll see you tomorrow, guys.